Welcome to the Rising Consciousness Show, 20 minutes of soulful insights and powerful tools to elevate your life experience and create with higher clarity, intention, and vision. I'm Tara Antler, intuitive healer and soul coach.
And I'm King Gabriel, spiritual teacher and practitioner. And we are the co-founders of Ascension Academy of Life,
a global center for spiritual growth, intuitive healing, and soul alignment.
Get ready to blast off.
Welcome back, everybody. I wanted to record this short and sweet for you. I just finished wrapping up a Thrive Evolution class. And what I wanted to drop here is this. I think many times when it comes to our purpose and living our purpose, we really overthink things. I think we overdo and overthink a lot in today's world. And tonight's class was really super playful, super fun, very joyful. It brought me back to very joyful, playful times in my own life and experience. And what I wanted to share with you here is that if there is something that you are moving yourself toward or something that you're up to or creating, remember to sprinkle in a little play. Remember to bring in a little playfulness, because when you do, things open up. There's so much that can open up for us, and it brings us into alignment very, very quickly. I think a lot of times we overthink our purpose and what we're here for, what we're to do, what's my big purpose. And I have shared this many, many, many times over the last 20 years that our purpose is actually quite simple. There's layers to it that seem complicated, or there's layers to it that seem like, holy smokes, there's layers to it. And yet, the most simple thing is us being here and bringing more light to the planet and bringing our gifts and bringing our perspective and bringing who we are, all of us, our whole self to the table and to this life. That's a big part of our purpose. And when we start to really live by that, then I believe everything else starts to fall into place. The strategy, the steps, what to do. You know, even when after the meditation, I had this drop down come in around just booking the retreat that we've been wanting to hold in Mexico in April, and to just do it. And so as soon as I wrapped up, I messaged the guy right away, the 2 villas, and I said, hey, what do you still have left in April? I'm like, let's do this already, right? And not worrying about, not stressing about how am I going to fill this? What's it going to look like? Worrying about the dates, none of that stuff. Just trusting and knowing in full alignment that when you live your purpose, when you walk your purpose, when you are in full resonance with it, everything else is going to fall into place. The spaces are going to fill up. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be a family-oriented retreat. And those that have kids are going to stay in one villa, and those that don't are going to stay in another villa. So everybody gets to have their peace and their play all at the same time. And that I want to bring more of that in. We used to do that a lot prior to kids. We had a lot of in-person events. And then, life changes. Circumstances change us sometimes, and it changes our business. It changes what we do. And then we navigate back to certain things. And I believe certain things we are meant to retire. We're meant to let go of certain things. But then sometimes there's certain pieces that find their way back into our life because it's really a part of who we are. And when I look at this for myself, who I am is a very joyful, playful person. I love playing and I love joy. And I feel like lately I haven't been doing so much of that because things have been a little bit serious with all the life and the world and the things going on. It's just things have been a little bit more chaotic and serious. And I think when we have life events and circumstances happen around us like that, it can dim us a little bit. It can bring us out of play and into pressure. And we just wrapped up our Pressure to Power workshop. And one of the things that I became aware of over the workshop and masterclass, and even tonight, was that play is now going to be a non-negotiable for me. And I know that my most abundant times have been when I've played. And so that's what I walked through our Thrivers. I walked them through the most playful exercise activity, and I just loved it. And I know they loved it too. Their comments were amazing tonight. And I want this for everybody because, again, I believe we take ourselves too seriously. We get caught up in the process. We get caught up in the perfection. We get caught up in having it all be perfectly strategized. And that's great. I love a good framework and I love strategy. And yet when it's all that, it's like all work and no play, we lose sight of what's important. And then life becomes hard. We become stressed and strained, and we age. I'll say it as it is. We age. And I don't think anybody wants that. I think we want to be youthful and vibrant and beautiful. And the more that we get to play in our life and in our work, the easier, the better it is. So I wanted to drop this here for you short and sweet because I just felt it was so important. I hope that this is a reminder for you to also look at your life right now, your business, your world, your consciousness, and maybe trim out. It's like when people talk about trim the fat, it's like trim out all the other stuff that just is in the way of your joy and come back to that. There's a card in my deck, my Divine Insight deck, that says creation loves joy. And I truly believe that. Every time I have come into a very joyful state, creation just naturally unfolds. The abundance shows up. The prosperity comes, not by force, but by play. And I feel so good about it when that happens. Every single time. Every story, miraculous story that I have had where I was like, what? Like that happened? It never came from me projecting or pushing or, yes, sometimes I have to power up through certain things. But the arrival of it always came at a time and a state where I was in the magic, like pure magic. And so I am vowing to myself right now, I'm dedicating back to myself, devoting back to myself this opportunity to come back to what is innocent and joyful once again, to come back to the joy so that creation can just naturally unfold. And I would love for you to do the same. So hopefully this has resonated. I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect again soon. Thank you so much for joining us today on another episode of the Rising Consciousness Show. For more high vibration conversations, meditations, energy activations, and tips and tools on creating your most exceptional life, we lovingly invite you to connect with us at academyoflight.ca. The website is www.academyoflight.ca. It is time to create your heaven on earth experience, and we look forward to sharing this beautiful journey with you.
You're listening to Rising Consciousness. Yeah.
Woo!
Woo!